That's what I
3 or
love.
4.
I love it.
Go ahead and call the January 9th, 2023 meeting of Lakeshore Hospital Authority Board of Trustees meeting to order. Any staff or trustee additions or deletions to the agenda or consent agenda?
Staff has no addition or deletions to either the agenda or the consent agenda, Mr. Chairman.
None, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
We got a motion on Ms. Chancey, a second by Mr. Kennedy. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed. That motion carries. Public comments, Ms. Lindman?
You know, I want to thank the authority for having the Zoom meetings, YouTube meetings. It's real helpful for those who can't be here to take the opportunity to do it. I know you guys don't have to, but it's been nicely done. But you as trustee have not done anything in connection with these empty buildings. I'm disappointed as a board member, and I think other community members are also disappointed you've had taken no action, made no decisions for 2.5 years. And the time has come, you guys need to make a decision on what to do. Stop wasting taxpayer money. You guys took an oath to be a good steward of the finances, and you guys have floundered. Thank you.
Any other public comments from anybody on the Zoom meeting? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved, Mr. Chair. Second.
Got a motion by Mr. Kennedy, a second by Mr. Douglas. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. New business, we've got Mr. Bruce Robinson here in place of Mr. Kennan. We're going to discuss the meeting rules and procedures. Are you up to date on that? Mr.
I've
Robinson?
read the ones that you've got and the Todd's recommendation.
Okay.
Yeah, the only thing I can add, Mr. Chairman, just to remind the board, the issue came up at a previous meeting. It involved whether or not the chair could vote. And that debate or that discussion came up because of a vote that was tied. You were not able to resolve an issue. Y'all asked Attorney Kennan to please review it. He did. I think unlike some public boards, you have to remember that you're a special district, and under the laws of a special district, as I understand them, the chair cannot vote. So having said that, I think pretty much he did what you asked him to do, but that you are currently unable to amend your meeting rules to allow the chair to vote. And
Yeah, you can't by action change your enabling legislation.
So unless there's questions, there's just no action here on your part to be taken.
We need more trustees.
Yeah, we need more trustees.
All right. Any questions about the rules? Second item, the amendment to the contract to lease space with Mona Floyd.
Well, trustees will recall that you allowed Mercy Medical due to their being displaced from their previous location to lease what we call the Women's Center, the 2-story building which fronts the lake. I think originally it was scheduled to be a 3-month lease, and they have not yet completed renovations and preparations to move into their new location. So they asked for an extension. We, of course, asked for the appropriate extension to be prepared, which is part of your agenda packet. And rather than continuing to come back, should this need to go on for an additional month or two, I requested that Todd prepared on a month-to-month basis. Obviously, we would not renew it if it starts to interfere with your plans for the building. But until such time, I see no reason that it shouldn't continue to be occupied. So if you have any questions about the way it's prepared or the way it's worded, we can ask those of Mr. Robinson. Otherwise, I would recommend you approve it.
Only question I had a couple months ago, we discussed doing some repairs and renovations. You don't foresee this interfering with getting that done in preparation.
No, sir. In fact, those do not interfere with their operations. And I have discussed that with Dwayne.
Questions, comments, concerns, motion?
Make a motion that we continue the contract on a month-to-month basis with
Mercy Medical.
Mercy Medical.
Got a motion
Second.
and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signal by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion carries. Mr. Williams, the update on the EM panel.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as you're aware, I've gave updates on contract negotiations over the past several meetings. So for the January meeting, I actually sort of reduced where we're at in writing. You have a copy of that at your desk. This was not prepared in time to be part of the agenda packet. So I will read it as we go through it for those that may be attending by Zoom. But Meridian Behavioral Healthcare, of course, they are petitioning for the deed to the actual hospital itself, the 4-story main hospital. And we, of course, have went through a process in order to get here with Meridian. But where we currently stand is I have discussed with you a format where we would hold 2 public meetings. The first public meeting would be to do presentations to explain how we got to where we're at and to allow Meridian to explain their position and their need for the building. The second public hearing would basically be to come back and answer any questions that we might not have been able to answer in the first meeting. But right now, it's really just a single meeting with a follow-up, which you tended to indicate was to your liking. Obviously, we can have as many as you want. It's strictly up to you. But when we first discussed it, it seemed like that was somewhat agreeable to you. We went so far as to say we believe the best day of the week to schedule this public meeting is Tuesday. That kind of comes from talking to various people without the community around us. They tend to think that that is the least busy night for people to attend. Therefore, they think it may help with attendance. We talked about different locations, and I purposefully did not put a location in here, but more and more, if it's available, it seems like it would probably be the school board auditorium, simply because of the size and the facilities available to make the presentation. So having said that, we sort of believe that the format would be me making a presentation explaining, the current status of the authority, what we've been through to get to this point, why Meridian is still on the table, all of those things, just some of the basic common things that historically we know happened. After that, Meridian would present. They would talk about what they do and what they propose to do at that facility, the need for it, whatever else they may want to say. And then, of course, it would be followed by questions and comments from the public. Trustees are going to be invited, and also not just invited, but encouraged to attend, but only to listen. You've already been advised that you should not partake in any conversation as part of these public hearings, because your comments could be viewed as sunshine law violations if more than one of you are in attendance. So you've already been advised of that legally, and I think it's only fair that the public that is there be told that. Otherwise, it's just natural to want to look at any of you and ask you a question. And so at the very least, we need to let them know you're not being rude. You're just trying to adhere to the law. But it is important, I think, that you be there to listen. When I prepared this memo, I didn't have a date to meet with Meridian at their, which they requested. I do now. It is going to be Thursday at 3:30, Tuesday, 3:30. I have asked the chair to go with me. Don Savoy, the executive director, requested that I come down and visit the Gainesville campus of Meridian and to also discuss with him the things that I just reviewed with you about the format of the public hearing. And I'm sure he'll have questions and concerns and comments, which hopefully we can address. Now, this meeting has to be what I believe to be well advertised in order to get the word out. So obviously through newspapers, neighborhood churches, the social media, and posted handbills are the things that we would expect and intend to do in order to get notice of the meeting. We can do other things if you have other suggestions, but we do want to make sure that we do our very best to get the word out and ask people to attend. I didn't say it, but it should be noted that, you know, we were requested earlier to have a separate meeting for downtown merchants. Unless I'm told otherwise, we're combining those into one meeting. But that's totally up to the trustees. If you want me to do different, I will. But right now, that one meeting would include them as invitees also. Okay. So that's kind of where we're at with Meridian. Certainly, hopefully after Thursday's meeting, I'll have a date. And as long as we can schedule the building and we can meet our legal advertising requirements and those things, we'll get that date scheduled and you'll be notified. Okay. On MPALs, first of all, we, just to remind everyone, we did receive a proposed contract from MPALs. That contract was reviewed. It was reviewed by myself, Fred, who of course was legal counsel at the time. Dick reviewed it. Don was present during many of the discussions when we talked about it. A comparison was made from their proposal and basically what we as an authority or authority staff has proposed. Now, I realize you haven't seen a lot of that, but that's kind of what's been going on through these discussions. Right now, I have dates which clear everybody's calendar that needs to be involved of January 11th, 18th, and 24th. More hours are available on certain dates than others. For example, I think on the 24th, we could basically allocate all day nearly if necessary. But I have yet to get with the Whites where they can coordinate with their team, and we will schedule continued negotiations. Now, where we're at goal-wise, and this kind of goes back to the comment made earlier, our goal is to have a summary sheet of the key points for each of these agreements on the February 13th agenda. Now, that's not meaning you're going to have an actual lease prepared or an agreement prepared, but basically a sheet that says, here are the highlights, these are the fine points, these are the things that, really, really matter. And we're going to hopefully be able to review that with you in February, assuming that you're okay with that. And then, of course, you will direct Mr. Kenny and Mr. Robinson to begin preparation of the necessary agreements. And when they get those in draft form, we'll either call a special meeting, or if time permits, we'll just add it to a regular agenda. And once y'all approve the draft agreement, we'll tweak it as you direct. We should be getting close at that point. I think we all want to get this behind us. So and I did it in writing. That way everybody now is on the same page. Everybody understands where we're at, and I'll continue to update this as we make progress. So we hope to get things going again quickly this week. The toughest person to schedule by far is Richard. I just want y'all to know that.
And all of you know that the opposite is true.
I just thought I'd throw it.
Questions,
Misinformation.
comments?
You're Mr. Misinformation.
Misinformation.
You're Mr. Misinformation.
This is misinformation.
No, you're saying.
Oh, Dick.
No questions or comments on those two, we will. Don't have the unfinished business, we'll move to board member comments. Ms. Chancellor?
I don't have anything.
Kitty?
Happy New Year to everybody. How about that?
Go dogs.
You and Joe.
Mr. Robinson, you have anything to add?
No, I've looked at those contracts, but I'm sure we'll be looking at them a lot more here shortly.
You will, Bruce, I promise.
As a Gator fan, I don't think I can say go dogs, so I'll be rooting for the purple tonight.
Good. No.
Douglas?
They have a date, Dale, where they want you to go to the Gainesville campus.
We have scheduled that, and that is Thursday at 3:30.
Okay.
And Brandon is going to go with me.
Yeah, is that only on their admin office or you're gonna go to the hospital? They have?
I think he's sending me to the hospital.
Yeah, that's, I mean, it'd be a lot more.
Oh.
accessible.
And that reminds me, you know, the invitation has been extended to each of you. They want you to go down and visit. And of course, because of sunshine laws, it's just, we can't all go together. But I still want to encourage you, and he wants me to encourage you to call and make arrangements and to go down and to take a tour of that campus and to look. You know, he's pretty adamant that picture's worth 1,000 words, and that if you can see some of what they propose to do here, it kind of helps answer questions. So I want to encourage you at their request to do that if you can.
Okay, can Sonia or Cynthia text us the number to call?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I think I'll just tell them to send Don's number, direct dial number. That way you get some action.
Okay, we won't call until after you go down there and tell them.
Okay. Fair enough.
There's nothing else. We will adjourn.